South Africa have had themselves a good opening week to the 2024 Men's T20 World Cup. 2 wins in two, and they've also lifted the curse of the Dutch from over their head. Bangladesh too have started strong. They defeated Sri Lanka in their opener. Now these two teams go at it in New York. We build up to this Group D clash on Maruti Suzuki Arena. Presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout, powered by Dish TV Watcho, in the company of Morne Morkel and Tamim Iqbal. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. A South African fast bowler and a Bangladeshi top order batter sets us up perfectly for what should be the decisive contest in this game, because South Africa's bowlers have been on fire. Tamim, you weren't quite pleased with the way Bangladesh approached their chase against Sri Lanka. Now coming up against this competent South African pace attack, which also has Keshav Maharaj to complement it, do you think it's going to be a daunting challenge for Bangladesh's batters?
Yeah, especially in New York, and the way the wicket is behaving, it will be challenging for Bangladesh. But I think Bangladesh has to come out of the mindset of trying score 180, 200 against South Africa. South Africa has some big names, big hitters. If they start thinking that if they need to win this game and they need to score 180, 200, then it's a problem, because the way the wicket is behaving, and if Bangladesh ended up batting first, they should look to score 150, 160, give their bowlers a chance, and just have a crack at South African batsmen, because especially in that kind of wicket, you never know what is going to happen.
So who would you identify, Tamim, as the most key personnel in the Bangladesh batting lineup to get to that kind of a total against this attack?
See, I think it has to come from the top four. It has to come from the top four. Litton has been struggling for a while. Probably didn't have the most fluent innings last game, but still he got some runs, so he should be feeling a little confident. He has done well in the past against South Africa. Shomo has done well against South Africa in the past. So I think these guys will be key. Obviously, there's Mahmudullah and Shakib, who has a lot of experience. So I think it needs to be a combined team effort rather than going individually. I think if Bangladesh can play as a unit and scores 160, 165, even 150, and especially the way the wicket is behaving, you never know. If you see the game yesterday, what has happened, you just probably need to bowl those test match line basically, and the wicket is doing it for you.
Morne, you've been quite happy with the variety and the wicket-taking ability in this South African attack, especially those four pacers. Do you think that is what stacks this contest heavily in favour of South Africa?
For sure. They've got five bowlers. They are all wicket takers. So there's no real soft overs coming from the South African bowling attack. We all know that, taking wickets is key in T20 cricket. And, they just got the variation of left arm seam, real X-factor pace with Nortje, Rabada with skills that can bowl on any conditions if the ball is swinging or seaming. And then, it's Neil Baartman. Second game for him against the Dutch. Again, standout sort of with the ball. He's got good skills at the back end. So it's not going to be easy for the Bangladesh top order, like Damon said. They also, not too scared to throw the ball to Keshav Maharaj early on to see if there's anything, so if the ball is holding up in the wicket. So, I think it's going to be hard work. They've got now the experience of the two games on the surface. They know more or less now what works, and, it's for them, it's just going out and execute that game plan.
Now, Bangladesh's bowlers had quite a good outing for themselves too in Dallas. Now they get to go at it in New York. And there is a potential opening to exploit, because South Africa's top order too haven't been among the runs. It's not just these two games, but also if you look through this calendar year, there haven't been too many runs for de Kock and Markram and Reza Hendricks. Tamim, is that where Bangladesh have to capitalize to have the best chance to compete in this game?
Definitely. I think new ball will be the key, especially the 4 overs from Taskeen and Mustafiz will be very, very important, because, yes, they haven't scored runs, but mind you, they're very, very dangerous batsmen. You can't give them any chance, because if de Kock gets a slight opportunity, he can hurt you pretty bad. Taskeen has been bowling quite well. Bangladesh, in general, with the new ball, they have been bowling quite nicely. And they will definitely get some assistance from the wicket. Whatever games we have seen it. The bounce is a bit uneven. The ball is doing a little bit. So Bangladesh new ball bowling will be very important if they want to win the game on the 10th.
Looking at the same from the South African lens, Morne, is that the area that they first focus on in terms of where they need to improve? Because if it comes to setting a total or having to chase a sizable score, you need a lot more from your top order.
If you look at the stats, yes, that's probably the area they would like to polish and get better at the moment in the World Cup. But those guys are three senior players: Quinton de Kock, Aiden Markram, Reza Hendricks, Heinrich Claessens. Those guys, they know their game. They know the process, how to go about constructing innings, putting innings together. So I think the most important thing is, from a coaching point of view, is just to keep on backing him. Let them feel that that as a coaching staff, as a team, you trust that top order, because like we said, it is a new ball wicket. It's not easy for the batters up front. So I feel from that point of view, it's no real sort of alarm bells yet. South Africa got over the line the last two games. They've got now 4 points, sitting quite nicely in that group. So it's just an opportunity now for those top order to really go and find their feet in this World Cup, because they've been unlucky. Quinton run out the last game. Aiden, burgled sort of down the leg side, which happens in the game, and you need to be planned and you need to be aware for those things. But I think by no distance it's any alarm bells. Just keep on feeding them confidence, back them, and they will deliver for you.
Having followed the action in the games in New York, Morne, do you expect Mustafizur and Tashkeen Ahmed and even a Tanzim to have a big say?
For sure. Tashkeen for me is a guy that he bowls high pace. He hits the deck quite hard. We saw that as soon as you get the ball in the right area, hit that test match length, there's more than enough for you in that surface. The fizz, he's world class. He's got all the skills, the variation. South African batters don't like going up against him because he's so accurate and it's quite hard to pick. And on a surface that where there's natural variation for any bowler, if you can go cross seam, wobble seam, if you can just execute well, you'll be more than fine. So I think for the Bangladesh, it's not sort of their backs are against the walls. They'll come out and they'll try and put South Africa under pressure. We just said it's so important for that top order to get off to a start. So from a Bangladesh point of view, is for them to not to give South Africa too many soft boundaries, scoring options, and for those top order to find rhythm.
All right, that completes the setup for match number 20. Isn't it a welcome change, Morne, that in this tournament we get to talk so much more about bowlers and not just focus on the batters? Let's see how Bangladesh and South Africa go then. Thank you so much, Morne Morkel, Tamim Iqbal, for setting up that game for us. Bangladesh have never beaten South Africa in men's T20 ice. Can they change that?
Introducing the epic new Swift. Time to go swifting.
वॉचो ऐप पे देखो एक OTT के दाम पे सारे OTT शान से।